It's Mr. G and another episode of Mr. G's Math Videos for 5th grade. This is going to be episode number 2, and today in episode 2 we are going to be covering the topic of how to compare and order decimals. We're going to be looking at some strategies, going over some practice problems. You'll have some problems that I'm going to ask that you complete. Let's get started. All right, so in comparing decimals, we are going to be using symbols to write our comparison statements. This first symbol is going to be the greater than symbol. We've got the less than symbol, and our final symbol, this is going to be the equal to symbol when your numbers are exactly the same. Our first problem. Compare the numbers 3 and 271 thousandths and 3 and 248 thousandths. Now, our very first step is we want to check to see if both numbers have the exact same place values. Well, in this first number, I can see 4 digits that are all the way to the thousandths place. I can see that the second number has 4 digits all the way to the thousandths place. And when I read it out loud, I said thousandths for both of them. So I am not going to need a placeholder. Step 2, we're going to rewrite these numbers so that they're stacked on top of each other. And I'm going to be extra careful. I want to make sure that those place values are lined up. So hundreds with hundreds, tenths with tenths, thousands with thousands. Step 3, we're going to start in the largest place value and compare. If they happen to be the same, we'll shift over one spot, compare until we find where they are different. So I'm starting in the ones place and I'm noticing that they're both 3s. So I'm going to go ahead and shift over. They are both 2s in the tenths place, so I'm going to shift over one more time, and then now I finally see some differences. I see that that first number is a 7, the bottom number is a 4, 7 is larger than 4, so that's going to make our first top number the larger number, that bottom number is going to be the smaller number. Okay, now in the fourth and final step, we're now ready to write our comparison statement with our symbols. Now here's a little tip. If you are struggling with which direction your symbol should go when you're writing comparison statements, just remember that the larger number is going to get 2 dots. The smaller number, we're going to get 1 dot, and then we're just going to go ahead and connect those dots. Let me show you what that looks like. 3.271 was larger, because remember, it had the 7 there. So I'm going to give it 2 dots. The other number is going to go here. I'm going to give that 1 dot, and then we just connect those dots. That's going to be the greater than symbol, and then all we have to do is write our other number. Now, it's really important to know the opposite way of saying it. Since we did the greater than first, now we're going to do the less than. When we write it the other way, we're just going to flip those numbers around. So this time, the smaller number is going to come first. We're going to give it 1 dot. 2 dots to the bigger number, connect those dots, and then we just write our larger number last. Okay, so it's really important that you know how to write both ways, greater than statements and less than statements. All right, problem number 2. I'm going to let you guys try this one. Okay, here's our problem that we're going to be working on. 8 and 108 thousandths and 8 and 1/10. Now just remember, here are the steps. I want you to go ahead and pause this video right now, get a piece of scratch paper, write those numbers down, and see if you can write both of your comparison statements following our 4 steps. Go ahead and pause the video right now. All right, you have done the work, you've unpaused the video. Let's go ahead and check this problem together and see how you did. So, did you notice when you read that first number, it said thousandths? This number, when you read it, it only said tenths. You had to add 2 zeros as placeholders. Now they both say thousandths. Now you can go on to step 3 and start comparing. Hopefully, you noticed that they were the same in the ones place, the same in the tenths, the same in the hundreds. You had to go all the way to the thousands place before you could find where the numbers were different. 8's going to be bigger than 0, so when you wrote your comparison statement, you should have gotten 8 and 108 thousandths is greater than 8 and 100 thousandths. Flipping that around to write our less than statement, 8 and 100 thousandths is going to be less than 8 and 108 thousandths. How'd you do on that one? Did you get it right? Good job. All right, let's go to our second strategy, ordering decimals. Now, in ordering decimals, guys, we are going to be using the exact same strategies. We are going to check to see if we need to add any placeholders. We are going to stack these numbers. We are starting in the largest place value and shifting over when they're the same. Now, the only difference is we are putting them in order. So we'll be labeling them 1 through 4, okay, since we have 4 numbers. Now, this table that we have, they are scores of 4 students and their math on a math quiz, what their scores were. It's asking us to put them in order from least, the smallest number, to the greatest, the larger number. So I'm going to go ahead. The first step, I want to read these numbers out loud, see if they sound the same, or do I need to add any placeholders? Aiden scored 12 and 305 thousandths. Sally scored 12 and 35 hundredths. Notice they don't sound the same. I need to add a 0 as a placeholder. Now they both have thousandths. Justin, 12 and 53 thousandths. And then Danny, 12 and 5 tenths. Ooh, tenths, thousandths. They don't sound the same. I need to add 2 placeholders. Add that hundredths and thousandths. Now that they're all in the thousandths, I'm ready to rewrite these numbers so they are stacked. 12 and 305 thousandths, 12 and 350 thousandths, 12 and 53 thousandths. Almost got me saying the wrong number there. 12 and 500 thousandths. So that's going to be step 3, is writing those down. Now I'm ready for step 4. I'm going to be comparing these place values, and as soon as I see a difference, I'm going to start to see, where am I going to label my least number with the number 1? Where can I start labeling my greatest number with the number 4? And then I'm going to start to see where I can fill in positions 2 and 3. Okay? So let's start in the largest place value, which is going to be the tens place. And I notice that they are all 1s. So I'm going to shift. I'm going to look at the 1s place. They are all 2s. I'm going to shift to the tenths. And I see something where they're not the same. A 3, a 0, and a 5. Well, the 0 is the smallest number. That means Justin, he is going to be first in my order. He has the smallest grade. The 5 is the largest. So that means Danny's score is going to be last in my order. So I'm going to put a 4 there. Now I just got to figure out, well, which ones are 2 and 3? So I've done Justin's, I've used Danny's. These 2 are the same 3s, so I'm going to shift because I can't tell yet. I see a 0 and a 5. 0 is less than 5, so that means Aiden's score is going to come right after Justin's, so he's going to be number 2. And then Sally, she's the 3rd highest score. Okay, so I'm using that exact same strategy, but now I'm just putting these in order 1 through 4 based on, am I putting it least to greatest or greatest to least? All right, our final problem. It's your turn. Try this practice problem on your own. Okay, we'll read through it, pause that video, see if you can work it out, and then we'll check that answer together. So here's the problem. The table shows the heights of different mountains in the USA. Mount Rainier, Mount Whitney, Mount Mitchell, and Mount Denali. You practice reading those numbers. See if you have to put any zeros as placeholders. All right, go ahead and pause that video. You do the work, and then we'll come back. You'll unpause, and we'll check this together. All right, so let's see how you did. Did you catch Mount Whitney? You had to add a 0 for the placeholder. It was the only one that didn't have a thousands place. So then we rewrote our numbers, we stacked them. Now, here's a little tip on this. You do not have to put these numbers in any particular order. Okay, I just write them as they are shown in order on the table. Okay, it does not matter the order you put. So we compared the ones place, and hopefully you notice some differences. I see a 1, a 3, 2, and a 2. Well, that tells me, Mount Mitchell, you are the smallest mountain. Mount Denali, you got a 3. You're the largest, so I put a 4 next to it. And then now we just have to shift over to see which ones are 2 and 3. They both have 7 in the tenths. We're going to shift again. They both have a 2 in the hundredths. We're going to shift all the way to the thousands. And then I can see Mount Rainier has a 9 in the thousands. Mount Whitney has a 0 in the thousands. Well, 9's bigger than 0, so that means I'm going to put a 2 next to Mount Whitney, and Mount Rainier is going to be in our third position. So there we put those numbers in order from least to greatest. How'd you do? All right, temperature check, guys. 5 being, I've got this, I completely understand. You can give me any problem, and I'm going to be able to get the answer. 1, still struggling, need some more practice. Maybe if you're a 1, you might want to go back and rewatch this and just grab some dice, some playing cards, create your own numbers and practice these strategies on paper. If you were a 5, way to go. That's awesome. You are ready to move on. 3 or 4, you're still pretty good. Let's maybe get a couple more practice problems in and you'll be rocking it. All right, guys, that is going to do it. That is our strategies for comparing and ordering decimals. I appreciate everybody watching our second episode. Keep watching, keep practicing. It's going to get easier the more you do it, just like anything in life. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If there's anything you want me to cover, any topics you're interested in learning about, make sure you're dropping a comment on the video. I'm happy to create those videos for you so you can be practicing math at home. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me in episode 2. Stay tuned. Episode 3 is going to be coming out real soon. Until next time, Manta Rays, keep on mathin'. What is up, guys?